LEGO Fortnite is finally here, and I know just what you guys are wanting. Someone to sit through the torture of playing 100 days of it, alone, with no friends. Just the AI LEGO Fortnite people that work for me for free, and the vast wilderness that this world has to offer. Well, I did just that. Minus the 100 days part. It only took me 37 to finish pretty much everything I wanted to do. But anyways, here's how I survived 100 days in LEGO Fortnite. Very first thing I did after spawning was brutally murder a chicken.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I'm faster than you.
Then I walked around getting the resources to build a campfire. I was then given the quest of making a crafting bench and the basic tools for my survival, so I ran around getting the materials to do just that. I placed down the crafting bench and then made an axe and pickaxe.
Yeah, boy.
Then I messed around with the building mechanics by building a small shack. I then went out again to get wood to make a bed.
Oh, are you tired? I didn't see you go out and get this wood.
Through the night, I went around getting the things to make a lumber mill. After doing so, I made some planks and some wooden rods. As the sun rose, I realized I could make a sword and quickly made one.
Oh, I can make a sword? Hold up.
I then went out once more to get some wood, and then this happened.
Oh, I can break these. What is that? What are you? Come here. Oh god. No. That was not worth it.
On my walk back, I found another chest that I was attacked for trying to open.
Who are you?
I ventured back to get my stuff and killed all of the
You
people.
have like an iron pickaxe or something. I want it.
Then on my way back to my camp, I came across my first cave.
Enter? Nah. I'll come back.
When I got back, I started making planks so that I could make a chest to store some things. Then I made the village square, and after seeing I could upgrade my village, I immediately went to get the wood to do so.
Sup? Welcome, welcome. Sure. You gotta do work though, we don't keep you here for free.
I then set up a spot for a log shed to be built for her to live in.
Finish the
And
build.
going into the morning, I finished building it.
There you go, your house is done. You have a home. Oh my god. I spent all that time building you a home, a place to live. It doesn't have a bed, so you don't want it? Nicely tucked away in the corner. Now does my village meet your needs? Thank you.
Then I finally had another resident in my village, and I gave her the job of refining wood for me indefinitely without pay. Then it was back to the cave that I found. I had no idea what to expect going into this, but I was kind of underwhelmed. I did get a crossbow from it, so that was cool. I found myself getting lost pretty often, so I made a map marker so I could always know where my house was. As night fell, Bright Bomber showed up to my village, so I started working on a house for her too. As morning came, I had the house completely ready.
I have a home for you. My village isn't good enough.
I got the resources and started making planks to upgrade my village when the soon-to-be resident just left.
Where'd, what's her name go? Bright Bomber. Tell me I'm doing all this for her and she dipped.
I upgraded my village anyway, so I was ready for the next person that came by. And as night began to fall, another person just so happened to come strolling by.
Who are you?
I accepted her into my village and then made another storage box. It was very dark in my village at night, so I decided to make some candles. This is when I realized that the people living here not only do work for no pay, but they will also fight for me.
Oh, you help fight? Awesome.
In the middle of the night, I had a really cool idea in my head for a floating house, but I got about halfway into day 5 when I realized that it just wouldn't look as good as I imagined, so I gave up. In my adventures of getting resources, however, I realized that cows eat vines, so I decided to make a pen so that I could easily trap some. I eventually finished that, and in the night, I made a spinning wheel which gave me access to more resources so I can make new things. Oh yeah, and at some point I made a grill, but I'm too lazy to go back and figure out when. I then set up a small farm next to the cow pen and planted some seeds in it. Then I lured a cow into my trap, but there was only one problem that I didn't think of.
Can he just walk over these? We might have a problem if he can. Okay. We'll come back to this.
As night quickly approached, I made another house to allow more people to live here. Then I needed to get some knot root, but I had no idea how. And after a while of searching, I gave up and just looked it up. This is when I learned that I could upgrade my crafting bench.
C-Day.
During the day, another person came by and I quickly made a bed so they could live here. I also upgraded my tools and went out to get the knot root that I needed. With that, I upgraded my village once more. When I finally got to talking to the raptor to make him live in my village, he was leaving and I wasn't able to convince him to stay.
No, stay.
I wanted to make my village look a bit better, so I decided to make a watchtower. I needed resources, so I broke down my failed attempt at making a cool house, and then in the night, I started building it. I got about halfway through the build before running out of resources. Then I upgraded my village once more and got the recipe to build a bungalow, which I just needed to make.
What?
I spent the whole night getting resources, and halfway through the day, I finished the house.
It's done.
I moved everything into my house. After slaughtering a bunch of people, I got back and realized how dark it got in here at night, so I made some candles to light the place up. As day 12 began, I saw a rainbow spawn in and went to see what was going on.
Oh. Oh, they're leaving.
The rest of the day was spent exploring some caves to get knot root. As day 13 began, I wanted to explore. More specifically, I wanted to go and see what these massive pillars I had been seeing in the distance were. I had a very long walk over there, and on my way, I came across a supply drop which really didn't give me anything good. I eventually came across a desert and explored it all day. I got some sand shells which I desperately needed, and as night fell, I fought a bunch of wolves and got a lot of sand claws which I also needed. Spent the rest of the night and some of day 13 walking back to my camp because of how far it was. After I got back, I followed a ferry to a cave where I got some marble and then went AFK for all of day 14 and got back in the morning of day 15. Day 15 was spent exploring caves and I finished building the watchtower. I then upgraded my village again. Day 16, I just went to a bunch of caves so I could make some marble slabs. Then in the night to day 17, I went back to the desert to get some amber. I built up onto one of the pillars and got what I needed. Day 18, I went back to get more amber because I didn't have enough for what I was trying to do, and that voyage brought me all the way into day 19 where I upgraded my village again. Going into day 20, I made the gem cutter and put all of my amber in it. Then I had a dance party with all the people who lived here to boost the morale in the workplace. Day 21, I went, guess where? Back to the desert. This time for flexwood since I had a new axe and needed to get it for some upgrade. I got a bunch and headed back. With this new flexwood, I made an upgraded pickaxe. Then I sat there on TikTok for like almost a full day before heading back to the desert. This time to find a lava cave so I could get some obsidian. I eventually got some and made my way back. Then I waited for the amber to be done so I could upgrade my village. It finished, but my village apparently wasn't nice enough to upgrade, so I put in a new house and then upgraded it. In the night, I decided to take on one of those big brute things.
No way. Oh. Ow. There's a super test light. Oh god, I gotta get in there. Come on. I did it.
After killing it, I went to go and loot a llama that I saw, but ended up taking nothing that it gave me. Day 25 started and I wanted to spruce up my village a bit. I had a nice layout going, but it didn't look so nice, so I decided to make some paths. I redecorated the middle and put some fences and benches around it, and I put some flower pots around to make the area look nicer. Then I put some garden plots in the open space, which took forever by the way, because I was trying so hard to get them perfectly lined up. And after that I made a log cabin so I could have more space for a final person to move in. After all of that was done, it was back to the desert again to get some copper. It took me forever to find another cave, but I eventually did and got what I needed. I also got some obsidian while I was there, so I wouldn't have to worry about that later on. I got back on day 28 and decided to actually plant things in the little garden that I made. Then I tried to go and get some snowberries because I needed to go back to the desert again, but the heat was annoying and these would help with that. I went to the Arctic and got a bunch of berries when this happened.
What do we got in here? Oh my god. No! No!
I immediately ran back to get my stuff.
Stop. Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention.
On my fourth try, I got my stuff back and was somehow able to make it back alive. Then I got a bunch of food and was off to the desert once more. I found a cave and got a bunch of obsidian and copper. And when I was leaving, I ran into Gus, who was terrified of a storm that wasn't happening.
There is no storm, dude.
I then found another cave, and while I was in here, I managed to get myself killed.
How'd he hit me? No!
I took the very long voyage back to the cave and got my stuff back.
Oh my god.
When I was leaving the desert, I came across another cave, and I just couldn't resist because I knew I needed more copper. Luckily, I got a bunch from this cave and was able to make it back safely to my camp. I got all of the resources I needed and added some benches to the camp to make it nicer and got the final upgrade for the town.
Boom, maxed out village. Let's go.
I then went back to the desert once more. At this point, I was numb to it, and during the walk, I would just hold W and sit on TikTok. This time, I needed bright core, so I got as much of that as I could.
There we go.
Only to get back and realize that I needed to go back once more to get blast cores. And let me tell you, this was stressful. I somehow made it out alive and got back to my house on day 36. I made a metal smelter, but couldn't use it because it was raining, so I put a small cover over it. Then I went AFK until day 37, where this happened. I didn't realize that my mic was muted, but I was freaking out. I quickly accepted him into the village and then went to upgrade my axe. This is when I realized that the only thing left to do for me was to expand my village, which I really didn't want to do, so I had a dance battle with the other Peely instead.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Where'd you come from?